So Wonder Woman 1984 was directed by Patty Jenkins once again because she did the first Wonder Woman. This is their second Wonder Woman movie. This time she got co-writing credit. She wrote this film alongside comic book DC writer Geoff Johns, who's written some of the, I don't know if it's some or all of the previous DCEU films. But yeah, he's also one of the writers. And it's part of the DCEU. It's a sequel to the first Wonder Woman, and it takes place in 1984, in which it is a prequel to Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, Justice League, Shazam, pretty much all the modern time DCEU movies that take place in modern times. And so, naturally, I was really excited. I pretty much really enjoyed the first one. I loved it when I was a kid because I was really young when I saw it. But subsequent rewatches, it has problems, especially in the final CGI fight, which was kind of terrible. But pretty much the whole movie is very good. It has really good action. I love that no man's land sequence. They don't overuse slow motion. Some of the CGI is a little off, but I still really enjoyed that film. My favorite aspect of that film is the relationship between Diana Prince and Steve Trevor, which they pretty much nailed. They did a great job with that. So I was pretty excited to see what Patty Jenkins would do in Wonder Woman 1984. I saw the trailer, looked very intriguing, and then the reviews came out before it came out. The film actually released, and they were like, "Oh, it's one of the best movies ever made. Oh, it's one of the best superhero movies ever made. It's such a great movie, especially in the time that we're in right now. It's so heartwarming and thrilling." And I was like, "Okay, I guess people are really enjoying it," and it makes me happy when a DC movie gets good reviews, because that's rare nowadays, because we got morons running DCEU right now, and only a few of them are very good, with that being Wonder Woman and Shazam, and Man of Steel is alright. So what did I think about Wonder Woman 1984? I thought it was pretty awful, and it was probably one of the worst movies I saw this year. But this movie's terrible, guys. If you enjoyed it, if you thought it was okay, as much as I disagree with you and I won't. Because it's your opinion, and I have no right to rip you away from that. It's your opinion. It's your thoughts. So let me tell you why I hated this movie. Okay? But before that, a review is not good if you cannot give out some compliments. And this film has a few good things. Very few. And I'll get those out of the way right now. The acting is very good. I think it's solid. The dialogue that these actors are given is pretty awful, so the material that most of these actors were given, they did a pretty good job. Gal Gadot, I don't think has ever shown excessive, emotion in her previous movies. It's not because of her, it's just, she hasn't been given that type of material. And she is in this movie, and she's pretty good. Pedro Pascal is good. He's very over the top in this thing. I liked him in the beginning, but his over the topness got really annoying by the end of the movie, and that's really because of the acting. That's really because of the writing. Kristen Wiig, who I actually like from SNL, she's in a few good movies, except for Ghostbusters 2016. Yeah, that's probably the worst movie she's probably in, and this might be her second worst movie that she's probably in. I was very skeptical of her playing a villain, a serious role, because she usually does comedy, but though the material she's given is god-awful, she does a good job. And honestly, through seeing her performance, I could tell that she would have done a pretty good job if she was also given good material. It's just her character that's just really bad, but I think she does an okay job, or a pretty decent job for what she's given. Chris Pine is back as Steve Trevor. I mean, he's just the same. Chris Pine's a good actor. He doesn't do anything different in terms of his character and stuff. So he was fine. He wasn't bad or anything. It's all the writing, and we'll get to that. Some of the action is fine, though there are things I don't like about it, and there's one action scene that was terrible, but we'll get to that. The opening sequence, which was heavily marketed in trailers, they even put out a whole clip to hype you up for the movie. It's actually really well shot. I think they used the IMAX cameras for those, and it was very effective. The child actress for Wonder Woman is awful, and I don't know why they used this. I think the same one from Wonder Woman 1. I don't know if that's the same actress, but she's terrible. She should have been someone else. She doesn't even look like Gal Gadot, or could have. She looks like some other race totally. It's just weird. She was bad, but the action sequences and seeing Robin Wright again was cool. And the first sequence, though it's totally unnecessary, and if it was removed, it would have changed nothing to the movie. But it was still fun. It was like one entertaining moment in the movie that was actually consistently good. The music's by Hans Zimmer. It's not his best. I think this is his most. It's not his worst either. His worst is Amazing Spider-Man 2, but this is his. This was just okay. His music was fine here. He reuses some tracks that he's done for the previous DCU movies that are really good and effectively used here. But he's probably my favorite music composer, and you can't expect them to have perfection every single time. The music's, fine, it's decent. And that's it. And I'm looking at my bad list on my phone right now as I have my notes, and it's just like 3 times as longer as my good list. This movie is definitely has negatives that outweigh the positives. It is a very, 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 very bad movie, guys. I am shocked. It's not. I would have expected it to be bad. Maybe if the creative team was completely different. If it wasn't Patty Jenkins, But she has given more power or more creative control in this film than she was in the previous film, which just shocks me. I don't understand why it's so bad. Like, this is probably the most. This film has probably the most subpar, stupid, and just nonsensical, riddled with plot holes and stupid logic writing story I've seen since Rise of Skywalker. At least Rise of Skywalker wasn't boring. This movie is. There's a good chunk of this film that shouldn't have been in this movie at all. It's so boring. You're not compelled whatsoever. And I wasn't even, I didn't even care what was going on. And I was sitting down watching this movie with my brother. I had a chance to watch this movie a lot earlier, but my brother really wanted to see it because he was excited. We sat down, and the movie started around, I think we hit around 14 or 15 minutes into the movie, and we're like, okay, this is not good. And then we got a little bit more, around 30 minutes, and we were just shocked. I looked at my brother, and I was like, this is really bad. And I don't understand how people enjoyed this movie. People like this movie. There's this guy on Instagram who gave it a 9.9 out of 10. And he said that it was one of his top 5 comic book movies ever made. What? Have you not seen The Dark Knight? Have you not seen Avengers Endgame? Hell, have you not even seen Man of Steel? That movie was had problems, but it's still better than this. Oh God. You know what? I'm gonna lower my anger and my temper. Honestly, I don't think this movie even deserves that. It deserves nothing. Because this movie is an insult to Wonder Woman fans, to even feminists who liked the first Wonder Woman. Look, I'm not attacking this movie just because I don't like female superheroes. I love female superheroes. I love, gender equality in movies and stuff. That's fine. I'm not saying that. I hated this movie because it's a bad movie. And this film makes Wonder Woman feel like Wonder Woman is like this depressed, sad person the whole time until she meets Steve Trevor. So you're basically saying that a woman is not complete without a man. I mean, I'm not a hardcore feminist or anything, but I'm pretty sure women in general would have been pissed off by hearing that in the movie. Because that's what this movie has. Speaking of Steve Trevor, he shouldn't have been in this movie, by the way. And also, it's a slight spoiler, so if you don't want to hear anything at all and you're super excited for this movie, I suggest you leave because I'm going to have slight spoilers because I can't get into why I hate this movie if I don't give this one part. The reason this entire movie's plot is disgusting and stupid, so everyone's after this rock that grants wishes by just holding it and then saying what you want. If I told you that this movie's really bad, just think about what I just said. A stone that lets you wish for anything. And the bad guy's after it. Wonder Woman's after it. Kristen Wiig Cheetah is after it. That's the big thing. That's the thing that propels the plot of this movie. And if this movie's bad, then if you haven't figured it out, it's basically because anything that could happen happens in this movie. And it just devoids of any logic, and it makes no sense. All right, that was my little angry rant. I'm gonna get a little more organized here and just name down everything I hate about this movie. All right, even though I pretty much said most of it, I'll just say it down here so you sort of get an organized feel for this video, because I just need to get my emotion out of the way. The film, the first thing you will notice, it is horribly paced. It's boring. The film is really boring. There's a good chunk of the movie where you don't even see Wonder Woman suit up and stuff. I'm not telling you that I want to see superhero action every 5 seconds. My favorite parts of Batman Begins are the scenes with Bruce Wayne, whether it's him training or whether it's him trying out the different gadgets and the tumbler and stuff. Those are my favorite sequences. I actually like the Bruce Wayne stuff more than I do the Batman stuff in Batman Begins. So I'm not saying you should have Wonder Woman every 5 seconds. I'm just saying make the non-Wonder Woman parts of the film more compelling. And in this case, it's boring. It's flat out. I didn't laugh once in the movie. Not once. I didn't feel any emotion. I felt nothing. I didn't even feel excitement. And that's a bad, bad, bad sign. The dialogue is awful. There's messages that this movie tries to put out, and it's probably the most, I don't want to spoil the message, but it's so lame. And I'm telling you right now, animated movies have more complex messages and values and things that they want to present through their story that they create than this movie does, which is hilarious because this movie is PG-13 and adults are watching this movie. And it's a joke. Like I said before, the movie's riddled with plot holes, especially because of the wishing movie. This is probably the worst movie I've seen that revolves around some wishing thing or be careful what you wish for. Another person that didn't need to be in this movie is Kristen Wiig's Cheetah. She's in this movie basically so that Wonder Woman can punch someone physically. Because she can't fight Maxwell Lord. Thank God he didn't get into some stupid mech robot machine thing and start killing everybody. Oh my God. At that point, I would have shut the movie off and walked away. Cheetah's in this movie just so that Wonder Woman can fight someone. That's it. And that final CGI fight thing that they put in the trailer, yeah, it's just as bad as it was in the trailer. And they put it in nighttime so they can mask the horrible Cats level CGI that this thing has. My God. The action, some of it is good, but even the good ones are horribly edited. There are shots that just straight up missing. The script honestly needed a ton of work. It has a lot of issues. It felt like a first draft. And really needed to go through a couple more drafts. It felt like Rise of Skywalker, in which so many things made no sense, but they went along with it anyways, because I don't know if they're lazy or they just wanted to purposely piss off people, because either way, it's still a terrible movie. And that's it. Other than the acting and a few poignant moments in which Gal Gadot shows her acting chops, for those people who give her crap for not being a great actress, she actually is a really good actress. And that's it. This film is awful. Guys, I didn't want this. Like I said, I loved the first Wonder Woman movie. It's a solid 7, 8 out of 10 film for me. But this movie is like pretty much everything that first film did great. This film was like, how about we just go backwards, go down? All the good action, the good heart, the emotions, the messages, the action, the acting at some points, the dialogue, the writing, everything about that film was at least solid or good, is just terrible. And I am shocked, guys. This is a terrible movie. If you enjoyed it, I really don't understand why, but go ahead. That's your opinion. I hated this movie, and I'm giving Wonder Woman 1984 a 4 out of 10. A below average movie. Do not waste your time with this. I will tell you right now, this movie will bore you to death. It is boring. Halfway through the movie, I was waiting for this stupid movie to end. You guys, don't watch this movie. Wait for the other million movies that are coming out on streaming next year. I had a great time. This was my first year of YouTube, and this is going to be my final video this year. And I had a great time making videos, a lot of support, a lot of criticisms that I'm trying to, fix and make myself better. I just want to hear you guys' voice. Let me know what you thought of my channel overall. Let me know what you thought of the movie. I would like to hear your opinions. And just say something in the comments. It honestly makes me happy when someone responds to my work. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of 2020. New Year's is coming up. Yeah. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, and share your videos with your friends and family. Thank you for watching. Bye.